Copy 724, Roger. Trying to maintain 2,000.
Maintain 2,074.
Comment 504 to center maintain 3,000.
3,000, comment 504. And for Capt 724 is our traffic about our 12:30.
At 12:31 o'clock, Cap 724 now.
Okay, we got it.
Cap 724, maintain visual separation. The Canada clear visual approach runway 4 right.
Visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic, Capt 724.
Comment 504, ready speed of 170 for tower space. You can follow the Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right stage, descending out at 3,500.
We got hit this side with 25,
Comment 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile final.
170 so far out.
Cap 724, maintain 170 knots, 5 mile final, contact Boston Tower 162,
5 mile final, Capt 724.
Comment 504, traffic behind the left being Anbara 135 to the parallel runway that maintains separation from the ocean.
504. Descending at the airport, sir.
Yeah, 570, clear visual approach runway 4 left.
There they go, 570.
Eagle 470, traffic 1238 miles, 3,600 descending for the parallels on our jet.
I'll open 570.
Comment 504, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
32.22, 504.
Echo 5 final. We'll clear the visual 4 right. Canada 354. Rotation facing Delta North Carolina. Canada 3028, hourly weather update.
Bridge 40, Anbara, clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
One space dash site, maintaining visual separation. Contact Boston Tower 132.22. Okay, 3222 or Canada 354.
539, maintain at least 170 knots to 6 GMA, please.
17 to 60.
Echo 539, thanks. Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
28 call.
Yes.
Capt 724, right, descend and maintain 2000.
Descend and maintain 2074.
Comment 504, descend and maintain 3000. 3000, comment 504.
And for Capt 74 is our traffic about our 1230.
That's 12:31 o'clock, Capt 724 now.
Okay, we got it.
Capt 724, maintain visual separation. The Canada clear visual approach runway 4 right.
Clear visual 4 right, maintain visual separation from traffic. That's visual.
Comment 504, we did speed of 170 per tower station. Get following the Boeing 727, 1 o'clock, 6 miles right station, sending out at 3500.
We got hit inside with going back 170 from 504.
Comment 504, follow traffic, clear visual approach runway 4 right, maintain 170 knots for 5 mile funnel.
170 still 5 out, and visual 4 right, comment 504.
Capt 724, maintain 170 knots for 5 mile funnel, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
5 mile final, Capt 74.
Comment 504, traffic behind the left being an Embraer 135 to the parallel only that maintains visual separation from you.
504. Just standing as the airplane, so.
Echo 570, clear visual bridge, runway 4 left.
There we go, 57.
Echo 470, traffic, 1238 miles, 3,600, descending for the parallels on RJ.
Hour looking 57.
Comment 504, contact Boston Tower 132.22.
Contact Boston Tower 128.8.
28.8, take it easy, 57.
See ya.
Centuries ago, famed mathematician Katherine Johnson wrote, "The whole idea of going into space was new and daring. There were no textbooks, so we had to write them." Now, the United Federation of Planets stands on a new brink of exploration and learning, yet again pushing beyond the bounds of contemporary understanding, and for a new dawn proclaim proudly once again, these are the Voyages of.
Captain's log. We have received transmission from a planet requesting scientific aid after word of the Federation has spread throughout the Gamma Quadrant. Their life support systems are malfunctioning, and its creators have long since passed.
Alright, everyone. Welcome to the Voyages of here on the channel Rook and Rasp. We'll be following the adventures of the USS Serenitis as it continues its missions to explore the Gamma Quadrant. We're using the Star Trek Adventures role-playing game printed by Modiphius. As a reminder, we are in no way affiliated with Modiphius, we just love their product and their system. My name is Robin Jacoba, and I'll be running the game tonight, and joining me here is Amber as Captain Halada. Commander. We'll see. Then we have Jin as Commander Anbara. We have Phil as Lieutenant Commander Zeke, Cooper, and we have John as Lieutenant Commander Charlie.
Hello!
Alright, and we're happy that you're joining us here tonight, and as a reminder, as you watch, you accrue channel points, which I believe are a little, I forgot what those things are called, but you put them to your eye and they make things very large. Magnifying glass, thank you.
Cluthulus.
Cluthulus, and you can spend those for a variety of things. I'm assuming that's going to be rolling in chat here pretty soon, so you can check that out. Alright, and if we have, you can donate to create NPCs for the game. We have one a reoccurring NPC joining us tonight, who's Lieutenant Minkler, our brave security officer. And we have another one coming up tonight as well, who doesn't have a name yet, so if you want to donate, name an NPC, give us a little bit of a shtick about them, it'd be great. Alright, so as we are starting our voyage off, we join the crew as they are in their runabout, and they are coming towards the planet, which is known as Planet Tenpier. So, Halada, you have the con. Mm-hmm. So if you have any questions or like to work on a plan of getting started, just let me know.
So, Zeke, what do we know about this race so far?
I don't know that we've received all that many reports. I think that it's going to be a little bit of on the fly, is my understanding.
They are, what the information you have, Zeke, is they are not exactly xenophobic, but they're very insular. They do some light trading, but they mostly have people come, land, pick up things, and leave.
I'll share that then with the team, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I've got, Commander.
Did they send any information about the equipment that's malfunctioning?
The only information you have is it is beginning to malfunction. They do not know. They don't know enough to know what they don't know at this point.
Do we know what? But we don't know like what type of equipment, like what section or.
Essentially, the Tenpier people are not native to this planet.
Okay.
They do have a creation myth that they were basically swept away on an ark and brought here. The planet is not hospitable to them. They live in essentially a gigantic bubble city. And, if someone would like to, our science officer would like to run a scan on the planet, you can pick up some information.
All right. Science scan using...
Sorry, somewhere on here. My apologies.
Fine.
Sensor sweep, reason and science.
All right.
And if someone would like to aid Charlie, with the ship, it would be a 11.
I'll go ahead and roll that.
Excellent. And it's just the difficulty 1.
The ship gets a success.
All right.
I got 2.
Okay, so you, Charlie, did you get 2, or do you have 2 with the ship?
We have 3 total with the
3
ship.
total. Excellent. So the planet is mostly covered by an ocean, for want of a better term. It is a compound of fluorine and mercury. It is incredibly toxic. And pretty much if you want to go out of the city, you are going to need full environmental equipment. Within the city bounds, the oxygen is pretty toxic, so you'll want to wear breathers and likely eye protection.
Commander, if I'm reading this right, and the atmosphere of this planet is incredibly toxic, just about every life form on board our vessel, even if we are inside the cities, I recommend that we wear rebreather apparatus. Otherwise, you'll die relatively quickly.
All right, so we should definitely make sure we have appropriate gear before we land here.
Yeah, Charlie and Anbara might be able to survive a little longer because you guys
Lizard
are...
bros.
Yeah, lizard bros. But yeah, it is real bad. So as you're coming across the planet, again, most of the planet is covered in an ocean that is basically a metallic shining green. And as you're coming in, you see a large classic 70s bubble city, maybe 60s, the like Space 1999 style. And as you're bringing the roundabout down, you can either transport in or you can land.
So is the environment corrosive enough that it's going to damage the runabout if we leave it parked here?
Not inside the city, no.
Okay, I am leery to leave it in atmosphere because we've had several runabouts stolen at this point. So I'm gonna land.
All right. So yeah, as you're coming in, you get a hail, and it's pretty standard stuff like, this is Tin Pier 1, what is your designation, and you exchange information, and then you're setting the ship down.
All right. So yeah, everybody get your protective gear, and hopefully we don't actually need to go outside of the city.
And I know there's probably more modern stuff, but I imagine you're wearing the big helmets from the original series. They're like red with a weird chicken wire thing over the face. I love the aesthetics of the original series.
Well, given the compounds you're talking about, we probably have one like skin protection too, not just breathing.
Oh, that's outside the city. Inside the city is toxic, but not like melt your face style toxic. Just you want to protect your lungs and your eyes.
Rob, as we're heading down there, Charlie's going to start just using the sensors. The atmosphere of the planet, was it originally that way? Because it strikes me that they have bubble cities to protect the inhabitants within. Charlie's just curious about what created the atmosphere.
The atmosphere within the city or outside of the city?
Outside.
All right. You can roll a sensor sweep if you want, or you can spend one of those 2 bonus momentum that you had gotten, because we started at 4, that would put us to 6.
I'm going to spend one of those points of momentum.
Excellent. The planet does have an atmosphere, and it seems to be natural. It's incredibly toxic and dangerous to the inhabitants of the city and everyone you pretty much know, but it's got an atmosphere, it's got gravity.
So Charlie's just doing the math in his head, looking at each individual crewman and taking in their height, their weight, and going 60 seconds, 45 seconds, 10.
Maybe a minute and a half for you and Anbara.
I got all the meds. I'll just load up on stimulants or something to get me through.
I hear mercury's good for you.
make sure Minkler brings an extra one.
Yeah, he's got like a backpack with a couple extra, and like a full environmental suit, and I am going to get him a helmet.
Yes, that's probably for the best.
It's gonna be that classic Spock helmet.
Oh no.
But, so yeah, you guys have landed, and whenever you're ready, you can leave the ship, and there is a group waiting for you. A greeting party, basically.
Everybody ready?
Yep.
Can I bring, since I'm assuming that I'm coming on this mission primarily as, well, no, probably not. I'm probably a combination of diplomat and medicine, so some sort of expanded, like, not just the tricorder, but, kind of like that whole case or whatever, where you can load up the hypo sprays or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The doctrine case.
There we go, yes.
Yeah, and you are here because this is technically a first contact with this species as well.
Okay.
So that means you take the lead.
Yes, Commander.
All right. So as you disembark, the planet is Tin Pier. It's one of those fun things where the planet, the city, and the people all are called Tin Pier. Not individually, they have individual names, but them as a species. So as you're coming down, you get your first sight of them. Yeah, they are about 7.5 foot tall. Their limbs are incredibly elongated, and so is their torso. They're very thin, though, very reedy. Basic humanoid, one head, 2 arms, 2 legs. But at every joint you see, they have kind of these bony protrusions protecting them. Their heads sort of hang down on long necks, and they have like drooping eyebrows, a long pronounced nose, and they are covered, like their heads and their chins are sort of covered with like stringy hair.
These protective pieces that you mentioned, is it clear whether they're more defensive, like to protect against predators, or whether they're more like, oh, I always sit on my elbows or whatever, so I've just built up a callus to protect myself from, like, that kind of a situation?
You would guess they're probably protective from when they were more of a savage species. They're not quite like claws on their knuckles, but it's pretty intense.
Okay, awesome. So I would take the lead and approach them, at normal human pace, and then, probably pace myself. Maybe, how far apart are they standing from each other? Like, I don't want to encroach on their personal space. Like,
no, it's pretty standard. Maybe a couple feet. They're pretty close. Actually, go ahead and make me. We're gonna do a roll for this. A first contact roll. It'll be fun.
There we go.
So I'll go ahead and have you roll insight plus. I'd say command or maybe science. I don't know what you sort of chose as your diplomatic skill.
Command more than science.
So go ahead and make me a roll for that, and you'll get a sort of a first impression of who these are as a people. And
okay, is this one where it has a difficulty, or is this just one where it has a sliding scale on what the result is?
We'll say it's a difficulty of 2, and then you can spend more successes as momentum to gain more information. I believe we are currently at 5 momentum. So.
Okay, all right. So I think maybe getting off on a good start. So maybe 1 momentum for 1 die if the group's okay with that. I think 14, but just to cushion our odds at the beginning here.
And I'm sure you have an applicable focus. Do you have
psychiatry, diplomacy,
definitely.
persuasion?
Yeah, this is definitely a diplomacy thing.
Okay. I got 2 successes. What's our threat range?
Our complication threshold is currently at 20.
Okay, so then my 19 is A-okay.
Yep, for now.
I've had those nights, Phil.
Oof. We had that night last session. It was rough. Okay, so you got 2 successes?
Yes.
Excellent. You notice they are essentially... They're standing together, but it feels like there's 2 groups. There appears to be one larger with the person at the head, and they have like 4 people, and then slightly off to the side and back are 2 people that are with them. You're not sure what the division is, but it feels like you're dealing with 2 distinctive groups.
But the larger group has like a person more at the head.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't position us like exclusively towards them, but more towards them than the other group, and I'll address them first, or the leader first, and just kind of standard. Greetings. We received a message that you were seeking contact with the Federation. I am Lieutenant Commander Zeke Cooper.
Greetings. Thank you for answering our request so fast. I am Mayor Taposh, and I'm the leader of the city. He doesn't actually say mayor, but your universal translator will pop it over to that. And he's like, so yeah, he's Taposh, and then he motions to the person directly at his right, and he says, "This is Loron. They are our chief scientist."
With me is Commander Alada, Commander Anya, and Commander Charlie. Commander Charlie is our science specialist.
Excellent, thank you. So if you will follow us, and he sort of gestures, that I'm losing words tonight, my apologies, gestures to basically the exit, because you're sort of in an airlock city.
What's the group of 2 or the smaller group doing as he's doing?
They're following along.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll engage in conversation as we walk, but yeah, I won't call out that separate group then yet.
Yep.
Right, so rather than tell any of the group that yet, I'm going to focus on being diplomatic with this group. So.
All right. So yeah, you are led down you're led to a door that they use the panel, sort of placing a large hand, and again, their fingers are probably as long as most of your forearms, and basically hits it. There's a ring, doors open, and they're leading you into the city proper. And as you enter in, you see you're at the edge of the dome, and this huge, like, opalescent dome is covering several miles of city. It's inside of it, there are buildings and streets and roads, and it looks like there's some basic propulsion vehicles, but nothing too fancier out there.
In the message, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. I was about to say, when you landed, there were 2 other ships in the hangar that looked of the same, that they're from the same people.
In the message we received, I think I've gotten species confused. Do we know that they don't know how to fix it yet? Or have they just asked for help? Okay, we know that.
They have asked for help, and you've implied... It feels like they wouldn't be asking for help if they...
Well, yeah, you're right. So I guess it would be... Well, but I mean, I guess I might ask them directly, because it could be a resources versus knowledge thing, right? You know.
Oh, we also have a threat that has been purchased, so thank you for that.
Quite a few, actually.
Quite a few threat. Oh, excellent. Yes, we are up to 10 threat.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yep.
Thank you, viewers.
So
As I
great.
feel my anxiety go up because of threat.
So
Sean,
great.
luckily, Sean, you have a reroll.
And chat has got momentum as well.
Yes. I did not see the momentum.
It's up a bit.
Yeah, it's okay. So you're at 5 momentum.
I guess I would just ask, oh, why haven't you been able to answer, fix this or whatever? And then, response is just... you want to roll to sort of phrase that diplomatically, like approach it from, or do you want to sort of just... Unless something in the conversation has led me to think that would be a sore point, I guess it would be just kind of like, you got a problem, and that's probably the first thing we need to address.
Our people have never been much of builders. We have been on this planet as long as we can remember. As long as we can remember, we've been in the city. And the city has provided.
I see.
So, basically, they're going to lead you to essentially City Hall and bring you into a meeting room. And they're like, well, what can we do? We need your help.
So, I mentioned that Commander Charlie is our science officer. I did not mention that Commander Anya is our engineer. They've seen what we've been able to see, but they haven't been able to dig into any of those things. Can you show us these panels? Can they get more hands-on with this technology to see what they can understand of it? And any knowledge you have of where you think your controls are for any of these things?
Yeah, we can definitely lead you to the areas.
Can you also go into more detail about the malfunctions and like what's been occurring?
They kind of look at each other, and again, there's the same 6 people, and they're seated at essentially a banquet table with the crew, and they're sort of things get real tense for a little bit, and then the mayor's about to speak, and then someone from the smaller group speaks up. They say the city has always provided for us, but recently there's been sickness. They don't really have the words to describe what's going on, but people have been falling ill. They have not had the energy they normally have. The air towards the outside far end has become harder to breathe. The water coming through isn't pure anymore.
Sounds like something up with the filtration systems. All right. Well, let's try to get a look at what we're dealing with.
Charlie's immediately just... Oh, Charlie... Yeah, I got stuck with a cat, too. That's all right. Charlie's immediately going to just pull out his tricorder, and he's just going to start scanning the air for any kind of particulates or contagions. And I know the whole air is relatively not toxic, or is relatively toxic for us. He's just trying to suss out what might be affecting them specifically.
All right. So...
Do they know what their air composition and water composition should be?
Therein lies the question. So, yes, Charlie, you're free to scan, and now you don't even have to roll for it. You whip out the tricorder. The tricorder is made for exactly this purpose. And you get a detailed readout of what the air is made out of. And you look at it and, like, that's certainly stuff.
Looking at Halada, Charlie's not even looking up from the tricorder, just tapping on it. If we could figure out what the baseline is for what these readings should be, we might be able to figure out what the problem is. But as of right now, I'm still not completely sure what their normal atmosphere should be, because they're a life form that's not similar to many I've met.
Possible that that data would be located in whatever memory banks of this. Assuming this system has memory banks, I would imagine that it would have the regulatory maintenance levels listed. So yeah, if we can get to those panels and start looking, hopefully that'll give us some more clues as to this mystery.
Later on tonight, Charlie's going to be filling out his journal. It's going to be like, they actually let me get into the mainframe of an alien city. One of the best things ever.
Right?
The other thing we could potentially do if it's not in the database, Commander, is maybe some medical scans of, if they would permit those, might be able to give us some clues as to what their needs are.
We're also going to pretend that you asked them
Yes.
if they had that information.
That was my intention, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
But no, they do not have that.
Yeah, at this point in my head, I'm almost like, all right, they don't know anything, so just stop asking me no questions.
That is not the polite thing to do.
Commander, if I may make a suggestion, it sounds like 2 teams. Charlie and I will go investigate the systems, and then maybe the 2 of you can run some medical scans on the populace.
That's okay with you all. Talking to the mayor and the...
Could we send Minkler with them, and the other party member can stay with us?
Yeah.
We will call them just Lieutenant for now.
But yeah, I'll ask the leader, like, is it okay if we see some of the people who are sick?
Yes, that should... Again, he stumbles over the word sick, but yes, you can see those who are sick.
So...
Alright, so who would like to go first? Because we are splitting the party, which is always a brilliant idea.
It's the best. Just the best idea. I think that the science team should go first.
Okay, Team Lizard Bros. So yeah,
You didn't return a high five, so...
So yeah, you guys are, basically they will go ahead and lead you through the city, and you're going towards the outskirts. The ground you're walking on is actual, where it's not, paved, is actual, like, Earth, but not Earth because you're not on Earth. Even though the planet is named after dirt, not the other way around, which is interesting. So they will lead you through the city to an industrial section. As you're led out by 2 people, one from each of the sort of camps that you're feeling out, and you're basically joined by 2 more people, and you hop on sort of like a skiff, and you head down towards the industrial section. And I will have you guys make me a roll. We will say it is an insight plus science roll. One of you can roll and the other can assist.
Insight and science?
We'll say it's a difficulty of 1 right now.
Okay. Let's see. Charlie, if you want to do that, I'll assist.
All right.
And I just roll 1d20, right? For assist? Okay. I got a success.
I got a crit and a failure.
A failure or a 20?
Just a failure.
Okay, so you've got 2, so that will add 1 to momentum, which I believe brings us up to 6. And so yes, you notice that the further you get out, the 10 peer people are starting to like breathe a little more laboriously. You're noticing the breathing is getting heavier. Their movements are getting a little more sluggish. But they arrive, and you basically come to a series of giant warehouses. And they sort of say, well, this is it.
Has Charlie noticed any changes in the atmosphere from when we were inside the central part of the...
Would you like to do a tricorder scan?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay, again, we're not going to make you roll. We'll go ahead and actually have you roll Insight Science again, just to basically to compare the two.
You want me to assist?
Yes, please.
Okay.
And then I've previously been testing using the tricorder. So can I use one of my talents testing theory to gain an additional d20?
Sure thing.
All right.
I got a miss.
And again, this will be just like a difficulty 1. 2. All right. You are capped on momentum, but the information you get, yes, the air here is different. You are noticing that there are particulates that are basically fluorine particulates are making their way in here.
Lotta, look at these readings. It looks like the air here is more saturated with fluorine than it was when we landed.
Could be possible in such a short time. Is there anything that available that I can start messing with to try to find out what is contributing to this effect?
The person who spoke up at the meeting from the smaller group, whose name is Farron, they will lead you into basically they're your guide, and they will lead you through. They introduce themselves as Explorer Farron, and they will essentially lead you through the areas so you guys can do your searching.
Okay, cool.
And they will answer any questions that you have.
All right. Well, I want to start fiddling around with the systems to find out what the hell is going on.
Right. As you walk into the first warehouse, it almost looks like a giant foundry inside. You notice there's a number of large turbines, or what you would assume to be turbines, and there's a strange humming coming basically throughout the entire area.
And I assume the humming, does it seem like something that these machines should be making?
If you can ask Farron.
Yeah.
And Farron says, yeah, they've pretty much always made that noise.
Okay. Is there some sort of console or something that I can poke at?
Nothing's readily apparent. You're walking sort of through these rows of... They're basically 2 giant turbines that are probably like 300 feet long, and you can walk around each one of them. And it seems that they're connected to the ground, and there's some pipe working, but nothing you can see like as a console.
Okay. That's weird. How are these things? So she would take out her tricorder and try to like locate, some sort of control mechanism or power source or something to that effect.
All right. Your readings are super garbled.
Oh.
I'm gonna have you roll this one on your own as you're sort of flipping through it. and we will say you can use reason plus either science or engineering because
Yeah.
to try and suss out, but it is going to be a difficulty of 4 because
Okay. Yeah.
Chat has a floating one for us.
Sweet.
okay, so we have currently 7 momentum because chat can break the thing a bit, so yeah.
So now will electroplasma power systems help with what again, trying to find a power source or control source?
Unfortunately not, no, because it is
Okay.
not an electroplasma system.
Okay. And I'm guessing that's also negatory for a fusion reactor, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
Don't feel bad. I don't think warp field dynamics is going to help us here either.
Yeah.
That's what Charlie has.
All right. So do you guys mind if I spend 2 of the momentum?
You would need to spend 3 to get 2 dice.
Oh, okay.
Because it's 1 for the first dice, then an additional 2 for 2 dice, then an additional 3 for 3 dice.
Okay. So that would put us at 4. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. Cool. Then we'll do that. Nice. Okay. I got, and if it's, what is a crit again?
It is a natural 1.
Okay, dang it. I got it 2. I only got 3 successes. Oh.
Alright, so yeah, you're getting real garbled readings. Your tricorder is real confused. Let's pop back over to...
Wait a second. Actually, because it's... You just have to roll under insight and engineering, right?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then never mind. I did get 4.
Oh, you did get 4?
Yeah, because I thought that it was under just my engineering.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Insight plus. If you have a focus, that is... Then under engineering becomes a critical.
Right. Okay, cool. Because I was like... Yeah, because I rolled like a 2, a 4, and then like another 4 or something, and then like a 12, and I was like, oh man.
You are getting a lot of Okay, yeah, so yeah, we spent 3 momentum on that last roll. Just whenever you guys spend momentum, if you could just say, hey, I'm spending this amount for this effect.
Yes.
Just the people on our back end are just trying to keep up with us.
There should be 4 total left.
Yep, we have 4 momentum left. You have got all of the information downloaded. There's something incredibly familiar about these readings to you, but you'll have to get it back to the ship and sort of plug it into the runabout. None of the basic scans that your tricorder has, like, on hand match up with this stuff. And there's also 2 more buildings to explore.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suggest we pop over to Halada and Zeke.
Yep.
Keep everyone engaged. All right, so yeah, you guys you're led to basically another room in the same building. And there are a handful of the Tin Pier people, like, splayed out on rough pallets. It looks like this is pretty hastily thrown together.
Is anyone attending to them?
There's, like, someone sitting in a chair, like, in case they need anything to fetch, but no one's, like, wiping them down with a hot cloth or anything like that.
On the walk over, I will, at some point, try to tell Commander Alada that I don't know if she picked up on that there's almost 2 groupings in that initial meet. Just that she's aware.
And who came with us, or did they just kind of point us the way?
The fourth person from the main group and the second person from the other group. So the mayor and the scientist are not with you.
I'm gonna try to ask one of them, like, on the way over, is illness something new in your society?
They honestly don't know what the word illness means.
The feelings of weakness that have your people incapacitated.
No, I mean, occasionally we will get some weakness if we like do too much during the day, or if we don't get enough rest at night, we'll get some weakness. But other than that,
I imagine, Commander, that if they've engineered this living space, then maybe they were able to engineer it so that there weren't any pathogens, and if they've kept isolated, perhaps they've managed to avoid sickness. Though they do some trading, so that would be surprising. But perhaps there were other systems in place to keep illness at bay.
So, I am definitely not a doctor. Have fun checking people out, and I will
Absolutely.
make small talk with the people who came with us and like see if I can learn anything.
all right. So Zeke, we will have you make a doctor enroll. We'll
Something
say,
plus medicine.
I would say probably reason or insight, sort of your choice, whether you want to like talk to them and get a better idea as you're scanning them, or if you're going like strict data.
Given my counseling or my character's counseling background, I'll go with insight. Trying to gather information from them both verbally and from my tricorder.
All right. So yeah, go ahead and make the roll. This one's going to be one of the sliding scale difficulty.
Okay. One of my stronger combinations, so I don't think I'll buy any dice.
Okay.
Let's see what I get. I got a critical and a success.
Excellent. So that is 3 things. So yeah, you're scanning them. We'll say you're also going to. We'll use one of the successes for you to scan a healthy one as well, so you can establish sort of a baseline.
Right.
So yeah, as you're going through, you would say the cause of illness is a mixture of malnutrition and almost what you would call carbon monoxide poisoning in a different species. They are inhaling toxins.
Commander, there's clearly a respiratory component to their illness. There also appears to be a nutritional factor.
Also, you are getting the last part of that is you're getting some weird readings, like a weird energy signature that you're not really sure what to make of.
There's some other data here, Commander. I might need to see if I can send that back to. Oh, now I can't think of the ship doctor's name. To the ship's doctor.
Keed, Dr. Haskins.
Thank you, Commander Haskins, and see if he might be able to help us with this, or maybe when Charlie and Commander Anbara come back, as it's related to energy, but yeah, I can't make heads or tails of it right now.
Halada?
Yeah.
When you're looking at it, give me a insight plus science roll. It's going to be, again, like a difficulty of 3, because this is a pretty intense.
Insight plus science.
Yep.
I definitely want to buy a die, so I'll spend 1 momentum to buy a die.
All right, so that should put us at 3 momentum, I believe.
Awesome.
What's up?
I think there was a reroll.
I believe Sean had a reroll, but if you'd like to gift it to our daring commander.
With all failures.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any talents that might let you reroll?
Nope.
Alright, so yeah, you've got something nagging at your brain. You should... This is tickling something in your memory.
Somebody bought me a reroll in chat.
Okay,
Thank you so
excellent.
much.
Thank you, chat.
Worse. Awesome. 1 success and 2 complications.
1 success and 2 complications. Oh, thank you for that.
Oh no.
You're never looking at my tricorder ever again.
That's probably wise.
Alright.
Just imagine the whole planet blowing up like in A New Hope, which is random. She pushes a button on the tricorder and then
it just splits in half.
So, Halada, the complication I'm adding is this is really, really bothering you.
Okay.
You're going to be at +1 difficulty for the next scene, because we're about to move scenes.
And I'm
And
distracted trying to
yeah, you're like, I've seen this somewhere. I know what this is, but
yeah.
And the other one I'm going to keep in my pocket for later.
Oh joy.
Yeah, because 2 complications at once is a oh boy. All right. Sean, you have a reroll as well. It looks like. Oh,
Sean is the person buying.
Okay, yes. But it says 1 for Matt, so Matt's sitting at home. For the next time you play, you do have a reroll. So
No, 1 from Matt.
Oh, well, I cannot read.
Your dyslexia is messing you with you.
Very badly. So yeah, you guys, so there's definitely something wrong with their health. And there is a weird energy signature coming from them. And as you're looking at the readings, it's specifically coming from the bony protrusions heavily in their shoulders, but also sort of out of all of them. It's sort of an energy that's leaking out of them.
So yeah, the table has 2 floating rerolls, but I don't want to spend more rerolls on one thing.
We're also going to say not using multiple rerolls on one, especially with those complications, because that's just funny.
Yeah.
Would it see? You said they're bony.
Yes.
So extracting a sample would be no small nor painless task.
You don't know if it would be painless or not, but you can use like a tissue sampler. I mean, this is the future. There's probably something you can just shave like a couple molecules off of to get a reading on.
Well, if I can collect that and see if it maintains its energy sample, then I'd like to do that.
We'll say that you remove some of it. It is painless. They don't have nerve endings in there. It's I don't want to say calcified because it's not calcium, because calcium's an actual thing, but it's basically a calcification. You remove it, and there is some degradation on the energy, but not a lot.
I'm gonna calm Commander Anbara.
Okay.
Commander, it appears, at least with the environmental controls, it's an issue that there's something here that shouldn't be. And there's also a malnutrition element.
We have 2 more warehouses to explore. I found some readings that are very peculiar. Kind of familiar, but like I can't put my finger on it with just the tricorder alone. But I have the data to be analyzed at the ship when we're ready to when we're finished here.
All right, carry on.
All right. So let's hop back over, unless you guys had another thing you'd like to do right now, we can hop back over to the others, then come back to you guys when you have some time to process.
If there's anything I can do to alleviate symptoms, I'd be doing that, but otherwise, no.
Yeah. You can definitely work on that, like getting together a baseline stimulant mixed with some of the nutrition that they seem to be missing. Pardon?
Background noise,
Oh.
I think.
Okay. So yeah, we will go hop back to Team Lizard. So you search the next warehouse, and it's much the same.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask if there's anything weird with the turbines. Like, does it show that these things are putting out the gas that, or do they seem otherwise okay?
The ratings of the fluorine gas are no higher inside the building than they are outside. Okay. If anything, they're a little lower outside. Or, I mean, inside. They're a little lower inside.
Then I guess I'd like to try to do a similar scan again to see if I can narrow the field of what I was like looking for in the other room. Or is that?
You can run the same. You can run the scan, but you get the same results.
Okay. And nothing really seems out of place here otherwise?
Not particularly, no. Okay. So yeah, those are the two of the buildings. So the third one is different. I'm not going to make you go through the same thing 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
Rule of comedy be damned. So yeah, you get into the next building, and the building itself is smaller than the other two, and it seems to be made up of almost like offices. There's like straight hallways with doors, for want of a better term, going down the sides, probably every 40, 50 feet on either side.
And the doors are, like, they'll open if we try to access them?
Yeah, they're analog doors. They're not, like, automatic Fushi doors like Star Trek normally has. There's, like, a handle you turn, open it up.
Okay. Because we've got permission, and Charlie's naturally curious.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie just starts opening doors and just giving a little peek inside.
Okay. Minkler looks concerned, and he's keeping a hand on his phaser. Normally, this is the part of the mission when something will hit him in the head.
Yeah, similarly, Anya's like, hey, how about we, like, use our tricorders? Because, you know, we don't know what's around here, and this is a first contact mission.
Surely there's not going to be any danger in a warehouse on a forbidden alien planet.
The planet's atmosphere is poison. I'm just gonna throw that out there. We don't want to we don't want to complicate this more. So, you know, maybe, perhaps, we use these wonderful technological devices that we have developed specifically for this reason.
But door. All right. Charlie just rumbles and, like, he hisses and Saurian, and he's like, all right.
Well, Charlie did open one door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we will say that you opened the door and walked inside of it when Anbara was like, hey! So we will have you explore one of the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
All right, go ahead and roll me a d6. One of the action-y dice if you have it. If not, just tell me what you get and I'll tell you what's inside.
All right. Do this, we can do this, we can do this. A 2.
A 2. So yeah, you walk in and the room is pretty barren. It looks like at one point there was stuff stored in here. There's a couple of boxes, but Farron will lean over, basically say, because this place is not used very often, we tend to keep trade goods in a lot of the rooms.
Could it be that one of the, like, have you received anything recently that was unusual or unexpected outside of the ordinary trade goods?
What do you mean receive things?
Well, you're trading, right?
Yeah?
So to trade, that usually involves giving and receiving, no? Like, Anbara looks over at Charlie. Have I completely, like, this is a thing, right? Like...
No, that's just your Cardassian greed.
Charlie's gonna just use his tricorder to access his translator and his comm badge and be like, you said trade goods, correct? As in
Yes.
objects of value you trade with someone else.
Yeah.
Then who trades with you?
He gives you the name of some species. They're like known to the Gamma Quadrant, but nothing like... They're not like trading with the Changelings or the Dominion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just sort of like we supply fluorine gas and purified mercury to these people.
And do you just give it to them, or do you, like, is there an exchange?
We give it to them.
Okay. I realize now we have very different definitions.
Yeah. Explorer Farron seems very confused by this whole exchange.
That's fair. The engineer who doesn't talk to people is also like, aha!
Is there a room where you still have your trade goods in it?
Oh, there's some in this room.
Oh, okay. Charlie just goes to scan the crates.
Yeah. The crates have containers of purified mercury.
Anbara will scan the other rooms to see if there's anything immediately that stands out while Charlie's in that room, just in case.
Just in case the room explodes.
I will say that you guys probably did a general environmental scan when you entered into the building like you did on the other two, and you get much the same information. Actually, make me a roll for the scan, for the sensor scan thing, which I believe is reason science.
Oh, I got a reason science.
Yep.
Both of us, or just Charlie?
We'll have Charlie do it, and you can assist if you'd like.
Yes, please.
You should assist. Definitely assist.
So I got a 20.
Oh my god, I got 0.
Okay.
Remember, we have 2 floating rerolls.
There are 2 floating rerolls.
Okay, alright. Do we want to reroll?
I want to reroll your 20.
Okay.
I will let you use 1 reroll to reroll both.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I got another 20?
Got 1.
Poor Minkler. Poor Minkler.
He was 1 day away from retirement. He just got promoted.
Okay.
Oh god.
So, with your 1 success, I will say the one thing you do notice is even though there are no turbines in here, you are still getting the hum. And the hum is not constant. It is, every now and again you notice there's subtle changes in it. We will say that as Anbara is scanning, you will take a trip, and we are going to, you take a trip and you fall into one of the crates with containers of mercury. You didn't fall into a vat of mercury. So go ahead and roll a d6.
At a 6?
You got a 6?
Yeah.
Okay, you will take 2 stress and your environmental protection is damaged. It's still working, but it's iffy.
We had Minkler bring spares.
Can I attempt to repair my suit?
We do have spares. We do have 1 spare.
Okay.
Well, spare suits on us?
It's not really a suit. It's like a gas mask almost.
Mm-hmm.
And Minkler did bring a spare one because he's accident prone. If you have an accident prone child, you get them a helmet. If you have death prone children, you keep a couple clones on hand.
So, and then because she's a lizard, it's safe to swap it out here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You're gonna have a really bad taste in your mouth for a bit, and there's some coughing, and you feel burning, but
Anbara looks even more unhappy.
yeah. Like I said, you took 2 stress, so you've taken some damage. You're a little worse for wear, but
yeah,
nothing too terrible.
Just like first they make me talk to people, now I have to fall into this vat of mercury, and I have to. Now I'm breathing in Minkler's air. No offense, but listen, you really shouldn't have eaten that stuff this afternoon. I don't understand why you do it. But it smells really bad, and we're literally breathing in poison.
Whole garlic sardines, not a good idea for lunch.
Ooh, no.
Charlie's just standing over you, sort of doing the flailing thing, like, are you okay?
Just fine.
Yeah. Luckily, your skin's fairly thick, but you do have some burns.
Yeah.
But we will say that you continue on, and eventually you do find a control room.
Cool. Blessedly, praise be to the prophets that, my flesh is hardier than some of our caring companions.
All right,
so does it have like a regular interface?
Anbara, I'm going to have you make me a roll.
Okay.
Make me an insight plus engineering roll, difficulty of 3.
Are there any focuses I can use?
Nothing right now, no.
Okay.
I don't believe so. What are your focuses?
Warp field dynamics, transporters and replicators, electroplasma, power systems, and fusion reactors.
No.
Yeah, okay. Also have cultural studies and linguistics, but those aren't computery.
Actually, yes. That will work.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, which one? Cultural studies or linguistics?
Either one would work.
Okay, cool. Can I also buy, or I would also like to use a momentum, if that is cool with the group.
Right.
Fabulous. I am using a momentum.
Ah, fuck!
Alright, I'm gonna just surrender that d20 to the void because I don't know where it went.
Just make sure Duke's not around.
Okay. I got one. If it meets,
Meets is a success.
Yeah, but this is for the focus, so I'm asking if it meets, is that a crit or not?
Yep.
Okay, so then I have 2 crits and 2 normal successes. So 2 crits and a normal success.
All right.
So that's 2, 4, 5? Yeah.
5, yes. So yes, you find the readout, and you manage to suss things out, and it looks like there is damage to the system, but it's not superficial damage, like outside. It's in the inner workings of it.
Huh. Does it look like sabotage, or just like wear and tear?
You basically you have a red flashing square on the map.
Okay.
But it is not inside the city.
Huh. Alright. Well, he like looks at Charlie with the thing. I believe I found our problem.
Yep, and we have another momentum purchase from chat, so thank you for that.
Yay! And then yeah, calm the commander too. Just All right. I believe I've located where the malfunction is occurring, Commander, but it seems to be somewhere outside the city. You are muted.
Chemical suits, so seems like we get to go live a little more dangerously.
All right. Would you guys like to rendezvous? Let's pop back real quick with our other crew to see if there's anything. Oh, yeah, sure thing, Joe. What's up?
Before we switch back over, just real quick, is there any more information we can get about the red square?
You have its basic location.
But there's nothing in this interface that could tell us, like, atmosphere processing station or, you know.
Unfortunately not, no.
In that case, before Charlie's just going to download the database, like not the database, like the language of the database, so that the tricorder can help him construct like a more easily understood interface between him and next time we encounter them.
Yep. Yeah, the language isn't really an issue. Everything comes through pretty easily. It was just the.
It's very simplistic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, the way I'm imagining it, I don't know if you guys have played this, but have you played Super Metroid?
Yeah.
I'm imagining like you see the map from there, and one of the areas is glowing, flashing red.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's what Charlie was assuming. He's assuming that these were made for a very not dumb, but a very simple interface for a species that doesn't use technology a whole lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you guys meet back at the ship. Actually, I wanted to pop back over to science team or doctrine team. Did you guys have any more questions? Did you want to talk to the Tin Pier people at all?
Yeah. After I've, taken care of the people in that room at least or something, I might, I would ask someone from the larger group that's with us. I don't know that I don't remember which is the name yet or not.
There was the mayor and the scientist aren't with you anymore.
Right.
But there is an aide with you.
But there was one from each group, right?
Yes.
I would ask them if they're comfortable speaking about their society and species since this is first contact.
Roll me a weird interaction occurs between the two people from the different groups. So if you want to roll me an insight plus command, sort of to see if you can infer what wordless communication's going on. We'll say it's a difficulty of 2.
Since I think we're at 6, you guys mind if I use one and get some more information?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll help make this too. Psychiatry, would that be a focus?
Your diplomacy focus will work for this, because again, going into situations that you have not enough information on and trying to make peace is definitely what's going on here.
Okay. Then I have a total of 3 successes because I did have 1 crit.
Excellent. So yeah, 3 successes, and you said you did spend a momentum for that, right?
Correct, but I may want to buy more information.
I just wanted to confirm that. So yeah, the information you have is the person from the smaller group looked excited and was about to start speaking, and the person from the larger group, from the mayor's group, gave them a look that said, "I'll handle this." And what would you like to know?
It almost appears as so. I'd like to buy more information.
Okay.
I also have a talent that says when I use my momentum for more information, I get to ask one additional question.
Okay. So what is your first question?
If I asked them about the two groups, do I think that that would upset them?
There's a way you get the feeling there's a way you can approach it, which you would do with a roll, that you could diplomatically sort of bring up, hey, I noticed that there's some kind of awkward tension going on, or I noticed your society, asking them questions about their society to sort of lead to that, because there's very much feels like one group is in charge and then there's one group that is not.
What other information would make sense to gather from that? And if anybody in the group wants to suggest anything, I'm welcome to it.
If not, there is a bit of information I can give you.
Yeah, please, I'll take that.
You notice it's kind of hard to tell because they are an alien species you're meeting for the first time. The smaller group does seem younger and more eager, whereas the older group the group in charge seems older and more withdrawn.
Okay. So until I've had a chance in private to speak with the commander, I think I'll probably stay away from that that topic of the groups, since it isn't. Since I think I know how to broach it, but I'm not sure. It sounds like, since it involves parole. Not that I won't do it later, but just I don't want to do it without first talking to the commander. So I think I'd probably ask, kind of. I think we already know that they've been here as long as they can remember, so it might be that, what do you do for productivity? What do you do for leisure? Basic information gathering stuff that you don't necessarily have to fill me in on if it's not relevant, but first contact information gathering.
Yeah. They tell you that they trade in fluorine gas and liquid mercury.
So can I ask what they get in return?
yeah, it's the same conversation.
Okay.
They honestly, they don't do a lot of work. Most of their time is spent in leisure, just sort of, conversing, creating art, that sort of thing.
So, do people just come visit and take away fluorine gas and liquid mercury?
Yeah.
Okay. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And you know that both of those are needed in production. They're not exactly rare elements, but it's also not necessarily the easiest to come by.
I'm just going to sit here being quietly blown away by trading for nothing, and also whatever this puzzle is.
That's all I wanted to do before we reconnected.
All right. We will regroup back at the ship, but this is actually a really great time to take a break. So, just before we head to our break, I just want to let you know that we have a few upcoming shows that we're really excited about. On Tuesday, we have our 7th Sea game that's run by Danny, who plays Irax, our head of security, and that's the Tuesdays at 7 p.m., 7th Sea by Leaps and Bounties at 8 p.m. Eastern. This Thursday, 27th, we also have our Growing Shadows show at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. On Saturday, we have our Battletech Time of War game for Seriously Let's Play, and that will be at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific. That is a hard word for me today. Sunday, we have our Illuminated Page show, which I believe is Murder on the Orient Express, being run by Roxy, who is our con officer for the Star Trek game here. And then next Monday we have the next episode of Voyages of, which is actually going to be run by Charlie for this upcoming game. Really excited to get on watch that. I'm not going to be playing. And then next Saturday we have our Mech Warrior Destiny game. Seriously, let's play. And I believe that the Mech Warrior game and the Battletech game have some form of crossover, I believe. Sort of a divergent thing going on there. I'm pretty excited. I don't know a whole lot about it. Trying to keep spoiler free because I'm excited to tune in and figure out what's going on. But yeah, so we will go ahead and take our break. We'll come back in about 10 minutes, get up, grab some snacks, use the bathroom, stretch our legs a little bit, and then we'll come back and finish up our story. All right? So we'll see you. Hey, welcome back. I hope everyone had a pretty good break there. I just wanted to say before we get started again, we'd love it if you give our channel a follow. You know, we really like sharing. We do this on Twitch because we love sharing our games with people, and we like sharing stories. And so if you want to hit the follow button so that you know when we're going to be popped on, if you're really enjoying it, been watching for a bit, if you don't mind, we always would appreciate more subscribers. If you have Amazon Prime, you actually get a free Twitch subscription every month. Regular subscriptions will go month to month, but for the Prime one, you have to go in and redo it every month. But yeah, so we are going to pick our story back up, and we are going to join in with everyone at the ship, at the runabout.
Charlie's just putting all the information he found into the ship's computer.
Yeah. Same, and except with like more like muttered bajorans firing under Anya's breath, because she still has some of them burns and things, and well as the smell of whatever it was that mingled for breakfast.
Well, you are back aboard the ship, so first of all, we have a scene change, so you guys do lose one momentum, and your stress, Anya, or Anbara, has gone away.
Oh, awesome.
So, yeah, between scenes that will get fixed, and so yeah, I imagine the three of you, or three sciencey types, have their tricorders and their Game Boy Link cables plugged into the system.
Yeah.
Whenever you guys are...
All the glowy lights.
Lull. Yeah, whenever there seems like there's a lull, I'm going to say, Commander Anbara, there's some interesting energy readings off of the people as a whole.
Define interesting, because in this line of work, it's every day is very interesting.
Interesting as in it feels familiar, but I can't tell you more than that. But the doctor brought back a sample, so
I got a similar reading from the warehouses, and I was hoping the ship's computers would be able to help make some sense out of the... Yeah.
So, Anbara and Halada, I'm going to have you two, as you are talking and looking over the data, I will have you both give me an insight and either security or engineering.
Okay, and then what's the difficulty?
It will be a difficulty of 3. It was going to be 2, but Halada has an increased difficulty due to her distraction.
And then I think I would like to use a momentum.
Okay, I was wrong. We're currently at 4 momentum.
Okay.
I'm not saying that to dissuade you, just to let you know.
That's fine. And then can I use one of my foci, like, again, would cultural studies or linguistics help with that?
In fact, both of you can use focuses.
Sweet.
Oh, excellent.
All right, so I have used a momentum, so we are now at 3.
I am also going to use the momentum, so we are now at 2.
Okay.
Okay. I got 3 successes.
Okay.
Using engineering. Also, hello, Cat.
We got 2.
All right, so that is 5 successes. That is 3 over. And for a moment, Anbara and Halada, you are no longer on the runabout.
Oh.
You feel yourselves aboard a ship with no motion, surrounded by silvery shining walls and floors.
Is this like the observer?
You are back on the preserver ship for a flash, and then you are back on the runabout.
Preserver tech.
By the prophets.
So yeah, Zeke and Charlie, you see Halada and Anbara sort of pop up, stare into each other's eyes for a second, and then they snap out of it, and they are...
And I'm scanning them for medical.
Anbara looks unhappy.
Are you two okay?
We shouldn't have to blow it up this time, though, right?
But blow what up?
The last time we saw stuff like this was the energy readings like this was preserver.
Yeah.
And that particular mission ended with us having to blow up an asteroid that was actually a ship.
Yeah.
Yes, you guys can, for those of our viewers, these events take place in the two-part episode, The Saints Preserve Us. So, yes.
Awesome.
You guys can pull the mission briefing from that if you would like as well.
Yeah, and any other data we managed to ground.
Well, yeah, because Anbara had managed to sort of get a working idea of their language from then, I believe. So will that help at all?
Yeah, that is why you have been able to...
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Of course, we're dealing with this again. This is great.
Yes. So the humming you now recognize, the humming that you heard in the foundries are the language of the preservers.
Okay.
And the energy signature that you got coming from the Tinpier people is the stuff that powers their technology.
So this is another world that's been affected by the preserver.
So the people themselves are providing the power? Is that what I understood?
You can believe that. You don't have anything to show that right now, but if you want to be that your ongoing hypothesis, it's not a bad one.
Okay. I was trying to rephrase what you said to make sure I understood what you had told us.
Basically, the power source that the ship used is the same power that is coming off of these people.
Okay.
But these people are generating.
Interesting.
Something about this world is generating. It may not be the people; it may be the environment. So whatever is powering this tech could also be keeping these people alive.
That match with what I've been able to scan and gather.
It also falls in line with their creation myth, that gods descended from the heavens and brought them to a safe place.
Which is now killing them.
Zeke, I'm also going to have you roll me a either insight or reason plus command.
With that context, I'll do insight. Do I have a target, or?
We'll say it's a target of 3. And you currently have, I want to say, 2 momentum.
So I can make the check, or but it'd be at a 14. Do I think any of my focuses are going to come into play?
What focuses do you have? I don't have your sheet up.
Navigation, diplomacy, psychiatry, persuasion, small craft, and emergency medicine.
We'll say psychiatry.
Okay. Even then, I probably need another die to succeed. We're at 2. I don't know. What does the group think? I can see if I get a crit.
You can also buy a die with threat if you'd like. We're at 10 threat.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah. Looks like chat just gave him momentum.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. So that brings us up to 3 momentum.
But I'm going to immediately spend it.
All right.
For the one die.
So Zeke is spending 1 momentum to roll an additional die.
All right. I did get to 2 successes, but not to 3.
Okay. So yeah, you're meandering something over in your head, and you think there's something there, but you can't quite put your finger on it yet. Oh, and Halada, you will now no longer be at a penalty for rolls.
Excellent. Chat, thank you, QG Entertainment, named our ensign.
Okay.
The Tellarite named Ross Glovmar.
So yeah, we have our cultural studies expert. Actually, if someone would like to roll for a cultural studies expert, 1 die to add to Zeke. What was that name again?
It is
Ross Glovmar.
So we'll just call him Glovmar for now. So Ensign Glovmar. So someone can roll a die for him. It is going to be his target number is 13, and if he rolls a 3 or under, it's a critical. So I'm going to suggest not Anbara roll that, because she has rolled a plethora of 20s tonight.
I need to like keep this dice. I need to keep for like D&D and just remember.
So I believe Charlie will roll.
Yep.
I rolled. I got 1.
1 success. Okay. Yes, that will bring you up to the 3 that you needed. With their creation myth, it makes a lot of sense now that their view of trading, because essentially this is a farm. The preservers would come, harvest energy, and leave. So now the people basically do the same thing they've always done because they don't know any other way of life.
That was probably a conversation I was having with Glovmar, so everybody was aware of it then. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little unclear, Commander. Are they harvesting energy from the environment, or are they harvesting it from the people themselves?
I've gotten measurements directly from the beings. Have you gotten measurements from anywhere else?
Just their technology, and also. Oh wait, no. I have measurements from the trade goods we discovered.
Yep. They do not have the special energy signature.
So, potentially from these beings.
Mm-hmm.
Until we find some other source on the planet, potentially.
Well, let's investigate the spot where the malfunction is occurring. And just prepare for everything to get even more interesting, as the commander describes it.
All right. So, sorry.
I was just gonna say before we leave the runabout, it seems like various places in Star Trek there have been various emergency or additional helpful teleportation type devices depending upon what the plot needed. Would we have any of those available to us as like a emergency get out of jail beam back to the runabout type deal?
The runabout does have a transporter. You would need to leave one person on board the runabout, though, to operate it.
Maybe we
probably
that'd be safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you really trust Minkler to transport you? We need some transporter clone going on. Some real Thomas Riker stuff.
I'd rather Minkler transport us than be out with us and break his environmental suit and need to be transported.
All right. And if you want, you can also speak to the Tin-Pier people to see if they have any technology like that.
That seems like a good idea, yeah.
I didn't quite hear that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you can also talk to the Tin-Pier people to see if they have any information.
I heard that. I didn't hear what Commander Halada said.
Sorry.
That seems like a good idea, yes.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, you can talk to them, and they tell you, well, we do have some equipment, and they basically lead you to a dock, for want of a better term. It's an area where there's a hatch to access the underworkings, basically. And there is what passes for a submarine.
Oh, neat.
Because the area that you need to get to is under the fluorine mercury ocean.
So, into the submarine.
So I guess maybe I misunderstood earlier. When you said it's not in the city, it's not even in the dome.
No.
Oh.
No, the dome, I'm kind of using dome and city interchangeably.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks.
Does the submarine look like something I can pilot?
I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple. There's a stick, 2 pedals, one to go up, one to go down. Pretty standard for what you would like an Earth's aircraft would have.
Awesome.
All right. So the 4 of you are going, and you're taking along Inzen Glavmar, correct?
Mhm.
Who
All right.
will protect at all costs. 'Cause now I like him.
Yep. As you enter into the shuttle, we are going into a new scene, which means we lose 1 momentum, so I believe that makes us at 1 momentum now. And the complication range is increasing to 19 to 20.
Awesome.
So now you critically fail on a roll of 19 or 20 because you're using very... No one's been, as you open it, if you could smell the air, because of course you're breathing through rebreathers, if you could smell the air, there'd be musty, moldy, and stale. No one's been in this craft for a significant amount of time.
Wonderful.
And you do have some environmental suits from the runabout. We will say that you have 4 of them.
Cool.
Okay, so somebody's staying with the ship.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't... You need someone to stay in the sub so that they can use the airlock.
Yeah.
Do we know what this submarine's powered by?
You do not. You can do some scanning if you'd like.
Yeah, I'd like to scan to, at the very least, make sure that something this old has symptoms that will work and not,
Sure thing.
What do you want me to roll?
So that would be a sensor sweep, and it would be a reason plus science.
Okay. And then, what is the difficulty, and do any foci apply?
I don't think you have any focuses that'll apply, but it's only a difficulty of 1. Again,
Okay.
You're using a tricorder, and this is what a tricorder is designed to do.
Okay.
And you have, I'm assuming, all downloaded the new Spectrum that you've gotten from the Preserver mission.
Mm-hmm. All right. I got a 2 successes.
2 successes? Yes, the ship does have plenty of power. All of the seals are still airtight. It's perfectly functional.
Commander, it appears to be safe. To the extent that our technology can confirm that it is safe.
And that will add 1 to the momentum pool as well. So we should be at 2 momentum now, I believe.
Yeah. And she 100% makes, this face.
It's even better with the Cardassian thick neck thing.
Oh, yeah.
The neck armor.
Yeah.
All right.
Fortune favors the bold.
Did you ask something, Charlie? I had something, but I can let you go first.
No,
I was just going to say that by my calculations, should we have any kind of danger where the ocean gets into the submarine, we wouldn't have to worry about it for too long.
Yeah, seconds at most. I don't know if people have ever seen mercury burns, but I do not suggest Googling that. That is
not gonna look that up
unpleasant.
Now.
Saw one firsthand one time. It was All right, so
moving on from that topic. I'm just... Sorry, go ahead, Commander.
There's an old Cardassian proverb that says, "Fortune favors the one who stabs the bold in the back." So, maybe we not say things like that.
So Halada, since fortune favors the bold, give me a daring con roll.
Oh gosh.
It will be a difficulty of, we'll say a difficulty of 1, because again, the controls are incredibly simplistic. You have a really good idea of where you're going, and judging by the look on your face, it is time to remind you we do have a floating reroll still.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that because I rolled a complication. I got a success too, but...
Go ahead, reroll that beautiful bean footage.
Oh yeah, that's much better. That is 2 successes.
2 successes? Okay, so yeah, you pilot to the location just fine. Would you like to use that momentum for extra information, or would you like to drop that in the pool?
Let's drop it in the pool for now.
Okay.
I can't think of any questions to ask.
So
somebody has one.
That will add another momentum to the pool, which I believe brings us up to 3. So yeah, you are moving through, and you pull the ship up, and through the viewport you see extensive machinery. It looks like, I know I keep using the phrase turbines, but this time I actually mean turbines. You see basically where the water flows in and turns things to keep things moving. So, yeah.
Right. Is there an obvious entry port?
If you guys like, you can do a visual, basically taking a visual, I don't want to say scan because you're basically using your eyeballs, but we'll say it is a insight security, just to give it a once over, to do a visual inspection. Visual inspection, that's a word I was looking for. So whoever would like to roll that can, and one person can assist them.
I'll roll it.
We'll say it is a 2 because it is, you're looking through like metallic green liquid.
Sure, I'll assist.
All right.
I'm gonna use my fancy thing where I can assist with command.
Excellent. Command them to look better.
Yeah, exactly.
Use your special eyes, Charlie.
I only got 1 success.
I got 1 success as well.
Excellent. You can see there is definitely damage done to the turbines. Basically, there's a set of 3 turbines, and one set is torn up pretty badly.
Does it look like this is just wear and tear or purposeful, like, something?
You can spend a momentum if you'd like for to ask to get the answer to that, because the roll wasn't good enough to get that extra information, if that makes sense.
I think we should spend that.
I agree.
All right, so we have a momentum spend for ask a question. The damage looks like it was done on purpose.
Sabotage. Because as far as we know, there's no, like, giant monsters living in the Mercury, right? Like,
I think we asked that.
Yeah, let's put that idea into the Storyteller set.
You very much did not ask that question. You asked if the ship would run.
well, all right. Oh, hey, can we scan to see if there's any giant monsters in the area? For no reason in particular.
You would like to scan for life signs, I take it.
Yeah.
All right,
seems like a good idea.
That will be a sensor sweep again, because that is
Okay.
our favorite thing to do. Reason plus science. Someone can assist as the ship, but the ship is very bad and has an 8.
I guess I'll roll. And then
Yes.
who wants to assist?
Who would
Or
like to roll for the ship?
I say Charlie.
I will roll.
So you're rolling for the ship.
2 successes.
2
What
successes?
was the ship again?
The ship is 8 or lower.
Yeah, no.
It is a very... it is a bad ship.
Had to make sure. No.
Yep. I didn't say, but it was going to be a difficulty 2 because, again, mercury really throws off your sensor readings. It's metallic and creates wonkiness with the sensor rays, I guess.
Mhm.
I don't know what the sensors actually use. Probably waveform.
Yeah.
You do notice that there are life signs, nothing gigantic, but there are things alive in this environment.
Commander, there are actually things that are alive in here.
Okay.
She's just gonna then, like, hand the readings over to Charlie and just be like, this is your thing. It's living. I don't want to deal with that.
Right, Charlie, would you like to roll to suss out the readings?
Would.
Because, again, this is a really rudimentary system, so it is a insight science, difficulty of 1.
2 success.
2 successes? All right, so...
I was due for it.
Excellent. Yes, there are... you're actually getting a lot of life signs coming back. Most of them are monocellular life signs, probably bacteria, things like that. But there are some complex life signs that you're getting.
Complex as in more than single-celled, or complex as in more advanced?
The multicellular.
Okay.
And would you like to use that? Would you like to drop that momentum in the pool, or would you like to use that for more information?
More information, please.
Okay. Yes. There is essentially what appears to be a colony of multicellular organisms that is sort of that way. Not in the turbine, but away from it.
Commander, interestingly enough, there appears to be a large gathering of single-celled organisms not far from...
Multicellular.
Multicellular organisms not far from... It might suggest either a new life form, or perhaps it could be indicative that there's another creature, or there's a creature nearby. I can't quite figure it out.
Well, now let's focus on seeing what we can do about this to get the people back in the city back on track as fast as we can, and then if it looks like sabotage, that seems like something we should investigate.
It should also be noted, Commander, that if I get eaten by some sort of large multicellular conglomeration of things, I will be very unhappy, and my spirit will haunt all of you.
That is completely fair. We will do our best to make sure that does not happen.
Excellent.
Well, if the prophets like you, it shouldn't happen, right?
That's interesting. I did not know that the Book of the Prophets specifically mentioned how many cells a creature must have if it should eat you.
All right, so who would like to lead?
There's just the most extended sigh. Yes.
I was a singer. I can do this all day. I think my record is like 1.5 minutes of a sigh.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All right, so who would like to suit up and investigate the turbine?
Anbara wouldn't like to suit up, but she's gonna do it.
So we might all be looking at the first officer.
Charlie wants to.
I mean, I could go look at it and be like, yep, that's sure broken.
They might need you to jock at things.
Yeah. I'll go in case the multicellular organism shows up.
Yeah, exactly.
Flex them guns.
Somebody has to, like, do the stabbing, and it's not going to be me.
Alright, so Anbara, Charlie, and Halada. There is one suit left if someone else would like to join them. I didn't know if Zeke, if you'd like to go out, or if you wanted to send Glav Mar out.
Or we could just do 3 people if you want to stay, Zeke. It's up to you.
I'm okay either way. I just didn't know if, as the first officer, you'd set the party or not.
I tend to be a hey, who wants to come? Unless the person who is needed does not want to come, and then I will be like, nope.
More volunteer than voluntold.
Yeah.
Unless it's sentient, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do there. So I can be in here and make sure that if anything happens and you can make it back, I'll patch you up.
Sounds good.
Alright, so the 3 of you are suiting up. I'm not going to make you roll to suit up, and I'm not going to use the pocket complication that I still have for your suit up.
Reminder.
So yeah, you guys are getting suited up, and you hit the airlock, and then you are floating in an incredibly dangerous soup. We'll say that you can use, like, after thrusters to help you move around a little easier. Are any of you bringing weapons?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no. I'm bringing gear.
Okay.
He has their little phaser. But yeah, engineering thingies.
Yep. You guys have got toolkits. So you are floating in, like I said, an incredibly dangerous soup, and you are going to towards this gigantic turbine, and this one has stopped spinning because of a lot of damage that has been done to it.
And up close, like, does it look like it's, now that we're here, does it look like, can we tell roughly what kind of damage? Like, is this something where, there's, like, scorch marks from weapon fire, or, like, claw marks, or, erosion, or stuff like that?
There is a lot of gouging and slashing.
Great. Everything is so great.
Fine, this is fine, everything's fine.
Yes. I certainly love dealing with living things. It's so wonderful.
Alright, so what would you guys like to do? You are floating. The problem is in front of you. I will let you sort of communicate and figure this out.
Charlie's just going to be scanning the environment around them, but also he's taking stock of all of the life forms that's nearby.
Mm-hmm.
But also just looking at the technology here, like the metallurgy and what its link could be to the energy source that the observers have been harvesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I guess Anbara would try to see if there was a way to bypass the damage to, like, fix the thing to get it running again.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so Charlie, I'll have you do a sensor scan, and Anbara, I will have you roll me insight engineering.
What is the difficulty?
We will say that for you it is going to be 3, because this is sort of the big issue that you're dealing with. And Charlie, yours is going to be a 2, because it's pretty simple, but you're having to adjust for the environment in which you're in.
Will you let me use my foci again?
Yeah.
Okay. And then can I you guys find if I use a momentum?
Yeah, we are currently at 2 momentum.
Alright. I'm gonna use a momentum. Oh boy, do we still have that reroll?
We do not.
Oh,
All right. So I got 2 successes and a 20.
Okay. Charlie, what did you roll?
Just one success.
Just one success. Okay, so yeah, your sensors, again, with the heavy metals in the liquid, it's really confusing. Things are bouncing off in unexpected ways. As for the complication, we're going to say that the turbine suddenly shifts and crumples a little more. And I'm going to need everyone to make me a fitness security
God.
roll.
Oh God.
Me?
I got
No. Everyone who's out. It's
Can survival apply?
no successes.
Yes, we'll say survival applies. There's a
0
difficulty 1.
0 successes.
One success.
2. Okay. So that will add 1 to our momentum pool, which is good. But Anbara, you are currently trapped. You are pressed. You were sort of floating up. It fell, and you are pinned between the fallen turbine and the wall.
Have I mentioned how much I hate everything about this planet?
Yes, and it is time to try and rescue you.
How would you like to rescue our intrepid engineer?
Does it look like I could safely just move the turbine off of her?
It is gigantic. It is.
Okay.
It is easily like 30 to 40 foot tall at minimum.
I didn't know if the whole
Ooh.
being in liquid would make a difference.
Also, question:
Mhm.
could we, the science nerds, help her with the power of mathematically physicking a solution? Because if it's using like a fulcrum, we could like.
I was actually thinking that Commander, that you should be saying, okay, here's the engineering solution that you all need to implement.
Exactly. Like, no, you get the lever down there, and then.
All right. Anbara, if you would like to make a, we'll say control engineering, because you are trying not to panic.
That's okay. That's my best stat.
You are on an alien species in murder soup that is currently pinned.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
You have come up with a mathematical formula that if they can find a lever large enough and a fulcrum sturdy enough, you can move the world.
All right. I've run the numbers. So yes, if you look at that position right there, no, not there, right, no, not there.
Would those successes perhaps be that if I navigate the submarine, like we know where best to structurally move it, where it's not gonna break
you can use
or
the
whatever?
submarine if you would like. Yes.
Okay.
So, I was also recreationally a pilot, so I don't know that anybody's come back or whatever.
So I will need you to make me a daring plus con.
And
oh God.
Charlie and I are going to get out of the way.
What's my target?
We're going to say it would be a difficulty of 3, but because of Anbara's very helpful screaming.
She is not screaming. She is being loudly sarcastic.
It will be a difficulty of 2.
I think that I should buy at least 1 die.
Yes, please.
That's an 11.
We are down to 1 momentum.
Okay.
But I guess the question is, do we want Threat to get a second?
Would be giving him 2 threat, but we also really need to rescue Anbara, so I'm not opposed to this.
I also am concerned if you miss terribly, my character gets crushed to death by the ship ramming into the thing at the wrong place.
I mean, to be fair, I think an alternative that we could try is we have Minkler on standby to do teleportation. We can at least ask if he can get a lock.
We got a lot more momentum.
Oh?
Yeah, chat just
Chat
redeemed
3.
Excellent. So we are currently at 4 momentum.
Thank you, Dustbuster Imp.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Also, you can't be upset. Your character was afraid of being eaten. You're just being crushed to death.
Fair. But, you know, she has this weird attachment to being alive.
But
in one piece.
To her credit, she'll be crushed to death and then melted in acid, which is essentially being eaten by the ocean.
Yeah, that tracks.
Or we could not do any of that.
Do you want to try the risky thing, or do we want to see if Minkler can just teleport you out and then we'll come back out again?
On an out-of-character level, I like the risky thing because I think that's way more story and way more Star Trek.
Yeah.
I will say that right now, Minkler, with a moment, can teleport any of you to the ship, but if you do, you are out of the scene.
Yeah.
So it sounds like what I'll do is I will use the 3 momentum from Dustbuster. Thank you.
Yep.
Bring us back down to 1 so I can roll 4 dice. See if I can save Commander Anbara. Be the hero.
Exactly.
All right, let's see. That is 3 successes.
3 successes, excellent. So that is an additional success, so we'll add 1 to the momentum pool, so now we're at 2 momentum. So yeah, you basically slowly move into position and then turn and help pull the turbine back up to where it is. And actually, if you'd like to spin that momentum, you can set it up back to where it's supposed to be.
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. So yeah, we will spin that momentum, and technically it's supposed to take 2, but I don't care that much. You're creating an advantage. So it is now where it is supposed to be. It still needs to be repaired, but it will make it that much easier.
Okay. So
Man, that was not easy. Let's see if we can not have that happen again.
Oh yes, because I was so excited to be pinned against a turbine. That was super great, and an experience I would love to repeat. That, you know, had you been with an engineer without my complete brilliance, you wouldn't have even arrived at the solution to get me out of that situation. So yes, also you're welcome.
You're lucky I have humor. I
welcome for
understand
saving me.
sarcasm.
All right, so yes.
So yeah. Can I try to repair it again?
Yeah. We will say that that is going to again be an insight engineering, and basically you'll need to do that to figure out how to fix it.
Yes.
And then we will go from there. Charlie, would you like to assist?
What is the difficulty?
We will say that it is going to be 3, and Charlie, you can use science if you'd like.
Do we have any momentum left?
We have 1 momentum left.
Okay. Do you want me to try to use it, or hang on?
Well, it looks like Charlie has gotten a success already.
Okay, cool. Then let's hope for the best here. All right. Hang on, I'm gonna remove the white die.
Jeez.
Well, wait a second. Because I can use my foci, right?
Yep.
Okay, then I got a crit success.
Excellent.
Yes.
So yes, it is back in place. You know what you need to do to fix it.
Okay.
You're probably going to have to go back to the ship because you're going to need to replicate some parts.
Okay.
but for the turbine, there might be more issues further in the area, but for this turbine section, you have found what you need to.
Right. So, looks like I figured out what we need to do. I don't have the parts on hand. I'm gonna need to replicate some stuff. But it's also possible there's other problems.
We try to identify all of the problems so we can come back with all of the parts.
So how do I identify what's going on further in?
You will need to you'll need to swim further into the maw.
Oh, great.
Thank you for the momentum, Farlane.
Excellent, yes. Thank you, Farlane. We are up to 2 momentum now.
I think we would need to go further, into this.
Well, I will stay out here and make sure nothing comes in after you that you do not want to.
Okay. All right.
And holler real loud if there's something in there I need to come take care of.
Oh, believe me, you will be informed.
All right, Charlie, what are you going to do?
So Charlie's not noticed anything with his scans, not noticed anything else.
Go ahead and make me another scan roll, because you had made the first one and failed. But it's been a bit, and we've had some excitement.
2 successes.
2 successes. Yes, you are picking up, the life signs that you were picking up are pretty far away. They're not coming close. It doesn't look like they're in danger of attacking anytime soon. If they are, what's causing this issue? You are also finding mineral deposits in the rents and gouges in the turbine.
Looking at these mineral deposits, is this just like a byproduct, or is it like remains of like a claw?
It looks like it's probably the remnants of whatever caused this damage.
And the life sign, is it rather big?
No. There's a bunch of them, but they are not. It's not like a giant octopus or anything like that.
I think I've detected several life forms in the distance. They do not appear like they're getting ready to attack us, but they may have been the creatures that attacked this device.
That would be definitely why I am out here keeping an eye out, because we do not know what caused this damage.
And then he will just go inside to help Anya.
Okay. So yeah, you are moving inside. If you both want to, again, we're going to do another sensor roll, so one can do it, one can aid. Reason, science, and it's going to be a difficulty of 2 because, again, your sensors are kind of not reacting well to the liquid.
You want to this one?
Am I doing the primary? Or are you doing primary?
For the, are we looking at the machine or for more stuff lurking in here?
This is kind of a general what's going on here.
Okay.
So you're trying to find damage, but you might find other things as well.
Okay. Do you want to roll or do you want me to?
How about you roll? And I'll assist.
And then what's the difficulty again?
It is going to be a 2.
Okay. Ooh.
1 success.
I got dose.
2 successes, so that'd be 3 total?
Yeah.
Excellent. No complications?
Nope.
All right, so
I rolled these dice.
As you are searching, you have 1 extra success. So you find more damage done on top of like the roof, where you assume that it would be entering into the dome city. So this would probably be where like the gas is entering into. You also have 1 bonus success, so you can either drop that into momentum or you can get some extra information.
Let's get some more information. Okay, so we are in a turbine under a mercury lake that has a busted roof.
Yeah, it looks like the same sort of gouging and scratching are in here.
Okay.
On the at the top is the worst, and you can see basically it is going through to air.
Oh, okay. So this is poking up out of the surface.
Yeah, it is within the confines of the bubble city.
Okay. Is there a way to would there be an easy way to well, but that's weird because so if the damage is at the top that is exposed to the city,
I don't think the city, because we're outside the dome.
But you've gone far enough into the tunnel that you would be within the confines of the city now.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So
they are. You're not.
Basically, whatever attacked the top that's exposed in the city would have to have gone up into the city in order to do that, right?
No, it's like they're basically scratching and gouging at the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
And it just happens to pierce through to the city.
Okay. All right. So note for later, we should probably ask if anybody noticed or heard anything when that happened. What's a good question to ask? I don't know. Maybe we should just drop it into momentum then. I can't think of a thing. But it does look like we can repair it, right?
Yeah. You'll need to go back to the runabout. You'll need to take some samples so you can replicate and come back here and patch it up pretty quickly.
Are either of you gathering samples of the mineral deposits left behind?
Oh yeah, definitely. Charlie would have taken samples of that.
Yeah.
And this is hypothesis, the hole to the air. How big is that?
It is not overly large. There's a few of them, but they're
person
less than an inch
through its size, or okay, sorry, less than.
Yeah. All right, so we will drop that extra success into momentum, which will bring us up to 3, I believe. And then we will. What would you guys like to do now? You've located what's causing the issues, and you are working on a solution.
So we fix it.
All right, so you're going to go back to the city?
Yeah, probably say on the way back to the city, we would want to, fix this, but we need to figure out what caused it so it doesn't happen again, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you guys don't mind the detour, we can go see what this colony is.
Yeah.
All right. Halada, I will need you to make me a daring con roll, difficulty of 2.
Two successes.
Excellent. So you are piloting your way to the life signs. The closer you get to them, they start to move away.
Okay, so we're bothering them probably then, or at least that's going to be my working theory.
Can we get any better scans on them when we're closer to them to see if they have the minerals?
They're keeping a pretty decent distance from you. And to get a proper scan, you would have to get out of the submarine and use a tricorder, because this sub itself doesn't have adequate scanning technology to get, like, detailed, other than it's multicellular or unicellular.
Commander, I propose that perhaps Charlie and I see if we can get closer. Between our medical and science backgrounds, we might be able to get a good scan.
Okay, I'm going to put Minkler on alert to teleport you back in case something goes south.
Stay away from any turbines.
Yeah.
Well, you are currently in the open ocean now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just poking at the commander.
All right, so Charlie and Zeke want to suit up and go do some scanning?
I've all unsigned Charlie.
All right, so you can get in your suits, no problem. You get into the ocean. So that will be an insight science roll for the scanning. We're going to say it's a difficulty of 3 because there's an increased difficulty due to the liquid messing up your scanning, and you're doing it at kind of a far distance because you just can't get close to these things.
I'll support, and Charlie can lead.
Charlie, did you want to?
No, I just have the 1.
Okay. Did you roll 2 dice or?
I rolled 2.
Okay. So. Zeke?
No. Oh, yeah, never mind. Doesn't matter. I got 1.
Okay. So you didn't get enough to get a full scan of them. You have a slightly better scan, we'll say, but it's not like the full-blown thing. You didn't. It's not a failure. It's just not a complete success.
They have the minerals that match the damage.
You cannot tell that from this scan.
Okay.
At least not with the just the tricorder. Possibly if you pump this information to the runabout computer, it might be able to extrapolate a little more, but...
Do you think you get any more, Charlie? I'm not sure I can.
I think I could, but it's going to require more time.
Commander, do you want us to invest the time, or should we come back?
Let's invest the time now so that we don't have to come back.
All right. For this to work to get another chance, Halada, I'm going to need you to make another daring con roll, this time at a difficulty 3, to get close enough to them to get a better scan.
Okay. I'm going to spend a momentum.
Okay. That will bring us down to 2 momentum.
Yeah, we aren't finding this out today. I got 1 success and a complication.
Oh,
You
no.
got a complication.
Oh, no.
All right. I need everyone to roll 1 of the action die.
Uh, 1d20?
One of the just roll a d6.
I got a blink.
Okay. Luckily, none of you take any damage because I rolled worse than you guys did.
Yay!
Basically, the submarine is starting to be pelted by stones. By things. I'm saying stones because that's what it sounds like, tinking on the outside. And the sub hasn't taken damage, like significant damage yet, just superficial. But the sub is under attack.
So yeah, we're gonna back away. Also, thank you, chat, for the momentum.
Excellent. So yeah, we have an additional momentum from Quiet Gentleman Entertainment. Thank you. So that brings us back up to 3 momentum.
Can we scan the stones?
If you would like to take another volley of attacks, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's...
Why don't we scan the outside of the submarine once we get back?
Yeah, right now this is a fight or flight moment. And the submarine does not have any weapons.
Yeah, so we're running.
Yes.
All right, make me another daring con roll.
Oh, I hope this one goes better. What's the difficulty?
We will say it is a difficulty of 3. Failure's not failure, it's just a little more attack.
Yeah,
Are there,
I'm still going to spend a moment.
All right, so
is
we're
also
down
a
to 2
station
momentum
where
again.
someone can assist, or no?
Someone can assist as the submarine, and we will say that is a 10 or lower.
All right. I did not assist.
3. I got a crit.
Excellent. Phil, did you get anything? Okay.
I did not assist.
You successfully piled yourself away.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you land successfully back in the docking bay. The submarine gets raised up out of the ocean, and then basically it's on track, so it gets raised up, moved into an airlock. The airlock seals, and then you can get out safely.
So yeah, let's look at that damage and see if it left deposits like at the
I'm going to
factory?
use that foundry is what I've been calling it, but
Boundary.
I'm going to use my complication and say that your swift escape has dislodged anything that might have been in there.
Sure.
So now you don't have any complications left.
That's nice.
Unless I want to spend some of my threat.
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, you guys can get to the ship.
Get some stuff replicated.
Is there anything you'd like to do while you are doing this?
I believe there was talk of investigating to see if anyone noticed the sounds from attacking the top of that thing.
Yes, and you also wanted to run scans on the mineral deposits.
Yes.
Alright, so why don't we go ahead and run the scans on the mineral deposits, because those will be very fast. So it would be reason, science.
I can do that.
And again, it's going to be a difficulty of 1 because you're using technology designed to do exactly what it's doing. 2 successes. All right. The mineral deposit falls in line with the mineral deposits on the 10 Pier people.
So wait, it could have been 10 Pier themselves that attacked this thing?
Yes.
Why would the 10 Pier attack their own device?
Well, there are potentially 2 different groups here, at least.
And you have 1 bonus. Would you like that for more information, or would you like to drop that into the momentum pool?
Always more information.
All right. You can ask a question.
Would these deposits match any scans we could have taken from the 2 groups we met on the surface?
Yeah, well, those are the 10 Pier people. And they do match up pretty much.
How many of them would have had to attack to leave that much material behind?
Oh, is that the extra information you'd like?
Yeah, we'll go with that.
It would take a significant amount of them, either all at once or a smaller amount through, working overtime.
In any of the scans that I was taking when I was treating them for their illnesses, was there any indication that they would be able to survive in the fluorine mercury ocean?
You are not sure.
Okay.
But you do know that the exterior world is poisonous to them, and they both had fluorine and mercury poisoning.
Okay.
But that could easily be from the toxins in the air.
I don't think that it would have been one of the 10 Pier. I don't know how they would have gotten there and survived. They don't seem to have anything to do that, and their bodies wouldn't survive that. I mean, I see the connection in the evidence but I don't know that it's confirming enough yet for me.
I think now it's definitely the time for you to try to figure out what's going on with the two different groups.
We still been chaperoned, or are they just letting us run wild now?
There was someone with you to like lead you from the dry dock to your ship, but they didn't come with you on the submarine. They didn't do anything like that. There's someone with you. They're not necessarily following you. They're there to ask questions of if you need information.
Have I observed any times when there was a unsupervised younger of the groups?
There was one that accompanied Charlie and Anbara. Explorer, I have it written down. Farron. Explorer Farron.
So, perhaps what we can do, Commander, is if we know the location that we expect the hole to enter into the city, if we go there, maybe we can get one of the smaller groups to end up leading us there alone. I got the impression that they wanted to say things and the other group kind of put that down, so maybe isolating them might get us more information about the groups.
All right, let's try to make that happen then.
All right. So who is going with that? I mean, everyone can go for this mission. I mean, there's...
Sure.
Okay.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can... it's pretty easy to track down if you want to speak to Explorer Farron. All of these people look pretty similar to you, but again, you can tell little differences, so you can find Explorer Farron pretty easily.
Oh, actually, my character should probably go back to the ship to start replicating the parts that we need to fix stuff. So I will not participate in.
Well, you guys did go back to the ship.
Oh, we did. Okay.
And ran some scans, so you can basically say, "Hey, two NPCs, I need you to print these."
Yeah.
And we will be back for them.
Fabulous. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was doing my actual job.
Winkler in charge of something?
Hey, he can follow written directions.
He just has to push a button. Not that button, that button.
You think Winkler can read?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be a baby push this button.
Yeah, we'll put tape over the other button. Does anybody have any tape? Okay.
All right, so you have... it takes you a little bit of time, not too much, though, you find Explorer Farron. Can I help you?
We think that we might have a lead on where some of the poisons are entering the city.
That's excellent. Are you able to fix that?
Potentially. Could you help lead us there?
I don't know where it is.
Can we on the tricorder show a map or
yeah.
We need to get here safely.
Yeah, you guys get there, and in the earth you see on this side they're tiny holes, but these are very volatile chemicals. And as you're getting closer, Explorer Farron is getting visibly ill.
Our rebreathers probably would work poorly for him, though.
Yes, because they don't breathe oxygen.
Yeah. What's nearby here?
It's probably about 200 yards away from the dry dock.
Okay, so there's no housing or anything around
No.
Area. Nobody we could corner and be like, "Hey, did you hear anything?"
No, it's around the bubble, except for the spaceport, is pretty barren.
Okay.
Around the edge.
So I'm gonna kind of motion to
Zeke?
Zeke. My brain died, sorry. To get Explorer Farron back to where he's not getting sick, to talk to him.
Okay. Swarfang, I think we can take it from here. Maybe you and I. I don't think this is a good place for you.
Yeah, I'm not feeling so good around here. So yeah, it'd be nice to not be right here.
So I think I'd probably get him away and let him, breathe.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got a hypo spray that I think will help, I'll ask him if he'd like that.
Yeah.
Then kind of after he's had a chance to feel better, and then, say when we first arrived, we kind of noticed that you and another stood slightly apart from the rest. Is there?
Oh, Taposh?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really see eye to eye on some things, and they don't like it so much,
So, just a personal relationship?
Well, I'm an explorer.
Well, I'm kind of an explorer. I'm on a spaceship that goes between planets. But that doesn't mean that I don't speak to or see eye to eye with other people just because I'm an explorer. There's things I disagree with because I personally feel that way.
He looks confused for a second. You can tell they're trying to come up with some words that they don't like exploring.
Okay. You do like exploring?
Yeah, very much so, yes.
What kind of things have you found when you explored?
Not much, but the traders come here and they have such fantastic stories that I love to listen to.
Oh yeah. So is it always the same traders?
Yeah.
And do they?
It's hard to tell sometimes.
So they don't look like you?
Oh no, not at all.
Do they look like me?
Some of them.
So lots of different types.
He can describe 2 or 3 species. They're known to the Federation, but no one of any note.
Okay. Do the people who aren't? What are the people who aren't explorers called?
Themselves traditionalists.
Traditional.
They like things the way they are.
See.
Where there's new things are happening, and they don't like that. But the explorers, we like the new things.
Have you, in your exploring, ever found any other life forms here?
Oh, no.
No.
Sometimes the traders get places they shouldn't be, but nothing bad.
Have any other traders gone into the submarine?
No. I don't think anyone's used that ever.
Okay. Do the traditionalists try to keep the explorers from exploring, or
Yes, they want us to. They just want us to stay home. They want us to keep our heads down and keep doing, but we want to leave. We want to go out. We want to follow the traders.
Oh. And they won't allow that?
No. They barely let us talk to the traders. I've come of age, so they can't stop me.
So you can leave if you want to. Oh, from talking.
No one's allowed to leave.
Oh.
The gods forbid it. There's stories that long ago we might have left, but only when the gods deemed it was good.
Unlike the preservers.
Do you have any copies of your stories of and myths of the gods, or not myths? I don't remember what word he just used.
Legends, tales.
Legends, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it's not like myth, like I don't believe it. It's a insulting.
It's mostly an oral tradition, but yeah, there's written with stuff.
Do you think that an explorer would ever do harm to your home to try to force your people to leave?
I would hope not, but some of the younger explorers are pretty radical. I try to keep tabs on them, but just like my elders can't control me.
Right, of course. I'll kind of maybe point at one of his bony coverings, or maybe I'll knuckles later. Have you ever seen any explorers with damage or hurt to their coverings?
He's honestly not sure. It looks like it's something that wouldn't even occur to him to look at.
Okay.
From what you can tell, this species, they've never dealt with predators. They've never dealt with... Truth be told, they've probably never dealt with other animals other than the people that come to trade with them.
Right. I don't know. Do you want to maybe go to the repair thing, and I can think more of what I ask? I feel like I'm close to getting somewhere, but I don't know.
So yeah, you guys, what are the rest of you doing while he's talking?
I'm kind of scouting around up here, just like honestly looking to see if there's anything up here. I know the attacks came from inside, but
yeah,
just doing due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, same, she would be inspecting the damage from where they are here.
Yeah, you guys can basically take some scans. I'm not going to make you roll anything for it because there's nothing to find. The damage was done from the inside. It is definitely leaking volatile chemicals into the dome, which is causing the major issue. It is causing the sickness and the damage to the people.
Does that seem like something that would explain the malnourishment as well, or is that a separate issue?
You've not talked to them about what they eat.
Okay. So I will come over to Cooper and say, hey, they were malnourished. What do they eat, and are they running out of it?
Would Charlie be able to suss that, like, to figure that out from the scans of minerals or the other food?
I mean, you know what minerals they need to eat, but not necessarily where they get the food. Again, you've not seen any farms, you've not seen any animals, you've not seen any insects.
Honestly, Ender, I'm not certain what they ingest as a form of nutrition. He's gonna look for the nearest one and be like, "What is it that you eat?"
Yeah, Explorer Farron is right there.
Yeah.
It's like, we eat the food the machine provides.
Can you show me?
Yeah, he'll take you back to his house. And in his house, there's a replicator.
Could you replicate just your most favorite meal?
Yeah. He'll go over, press a few buttons on it, and there's like a thick stew.
Charlie scans it.
It has traces of mercury, fluorine, and a couple other toxic chemicals. Were you to guess, this is probably powered by one of the turbines, and with the damage caused, it was probably also poisoning their food supply.
I'm going to interrupt real quick to say thank you very much for the raid, Justice the Musician.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Charlie's going to go back and be like, Commander, I may have a theory on what's affecting these people. If that turbine powers the replicator system and it's not providing an adequate amount of energy, the replicators aren't producing food that's completely healthy for them.
Okay, that would definitely explain it then. I just wanted to make sure we were addressing all of the concerns when we fixed it. So, So yeah, it seems like that's the next step, is get that fixed. And we don't really have a solid enough. We don't have enough information to be like, hey, you need to watch for a certain group, but we should tell them that it looks like it was done deliberately and not wear and tear.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you guys can get back to the sub. You have the pieces. You can go repair the damage done to the power system. Yeah, the source of the power is the turbines turning under the ocean. So yeah, you guys can get things patched up, and the filtration system will take care of the air.
We'll let somebody from each group know that this was not wear and tear. Somebody or something, because there is life in your ocean, damaged the turbine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They thank you heartily, and wish you good tidings, and they sort of hope that that you'll come back if you need anything.
I would ask Ensign Glavmar if there's a way we can help them understand that it would seem that the people visiting them are taking advantage of them, and that trade means something else in the rest of the universe.
Anything they need or want, that makes trade, in our sense, difficult?
Yeah. Trade is an exchange. Whether it is an exchange of goods and services or information, there is an exchange for it to be a trade. Otherwise, it is a gift.
And maybe they'll choose to just gift things, but
at least it is a choice, and they are not being bamboozled.
Oh yeah,
no, exactly.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, maybe that's their perspective on it, but yeah, we can try.
Yeah, and you notice that the samples that you took of the people, the bony protrusions, they are still producing energy. They're not producing energy, but they are still. It still has energy. There is it has a half-life, but you couldn't begin to imagine what that half-life is.
So yeah, that's gonna get sent back to Starfleet for much more study.
Absolutely.
All right, so yeah, you guys have solved the mission. The 10 pure people are happy, healthy again. There's still dissent amongst them whether they should join the galaxy as a whole, but right now everyone is reasonably happy.
Hey,
All right.
High five.
I didn't have to blow anything up.
Although we came close with our rolls.
I was really hoping that one of you guys would fire a phaser underwater.
That would have been very bad,
no.
I'm sure.
That's why I specifically asked who's bringing a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just happy that I could use physics to solve another problem. Like,
I know you've got some wrap-up stuff, but it looks like we're going to be rating Q times if all goes well.
Excellent. So yeah, if anyone in our audience wants to help us, we're going to be rating Q times after we're finished up. But yeah, that's the adventure. Everything's pretty happy. Everyone's got a good ending. So don't forget our shows coming up. We have on tomorrow 7th Sea by Leaps and Bounties at 8 p.m. Eastern. On Thursday, we have our Growing Shadows game at 7 p.m. Eastern. This Saturday, we have Battletech Time of War at 2 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, we have our Illuminated Page Murder on the Orient Express at 5 p.m. Eastern. This upcoming Monday, we have our own Commander Charlie running the adventure Familial Blues is the title of that one. I know Halada's in it, but I don't believe myself or Anbara or Zeke is. So, but we'll definitely be tuning in for that. And then next Saturday, we have our Mech Warrior Destiny game coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern. You can follow us on Rook and Rasp on Facebook, Twitter. You can join our Discord, which we'll have information on that in the chat. And we also have our YouTube, where we put up all the videos, all our VODs and stuff, so you can catch up if there's something you've missed, or if you just want to relive the joy that is our shows.
All right. You can go watch the first episodes with the Preservers.
Yes. So, but I think that's pretty much it for us wrapping up tonight. So, thank y'all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
See ya.
Yeah. Hey.
All right. Excellent. Good game, everyone.
It was really fun.
Excellent. Thank you. If anyone has any questions, I can answer.
I need to double check where the schedule is.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say that
was there anything that you wanted us to follow up on and we didn't? Or
I was expecting you guys to follow up on the political part a little more, or a lot earlier, about the division between the two groups.
I think we got stuck on trying to figure out what was wrong with the machine.
Yeah.
Where we lost time. So
yeah, and also, I think having characters that were like again a sciencey people are not the most social or political characters.
No, just like
there was a balance.
Yeah,
that's what Zeke and I do. So.
Yeah,
it was good.
Yeah, I'm not upset or anything. I mean, I really enjoyed the way the show went. There was a big reveal that I didn't get to do.
Ah, dang.
Aww.
Yeah.
The people that you found, the life forms, are actually a race just coming to sapience.
Oh
no! Wow!
And they viewed the turbines as a monster.
That's what I was wondering, if there was that sort of there was that sort of thing going on.
And then it would have been a fun argument about the nature of the what is that called? The big thing the Federation does.
Prime Directive?
Yes, about the Prime Directive, because technically they'd be a pre-warp species.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You
too.
too.
Yeah.
Hey, before anybody else